10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday, and you know what that means. Stadium Connect North. We're kicking off the weekend. I couldn't be happier. Today, we've got a special guest on here. But before we get to that, I'll just say a shout out here to the chat. I see Metal Wolf is in here. Rebellica, Pike on Fusion, the Climax. How you doing, friend? And the Stadia Adventure and Zarina. So this week, Ninja came up with a good idea here that we're going to start to put polls throughout the stream here, the show, just get some type of interaction, some more interaction with everybody watching there. So we've got a poll up here. Are you expecting any big announcements coming up Tuesday at the Google for Game Developer Summit? And we'll tie that in with some of the news that we talk about. But before we get there, let's see. How you doing today, Ninja?
Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. It's been a fun week, a little bit less busy at work, so I feel a lot more relaxed today, which is nice.
Mhm.
And I've been playing some games. I've been playing Dawn of the Monsters with Bumpf, which is kind of nice to see him here. And other than that, I've tried Darkwood, which was pretty fun. I've played some more Race with Ryan, of course, and some Adam Wolf, all the new games. I've been enjoying them for the last 2 weeks, and I probably plan on playing them still next week. So, yeah.
Awesome. We got another entry in here to the Stadium Connect North cast. There's Fletch. How you doing, Fletch?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. Yeah, sorry, I've look a bit off from the gym, but yeah.
Well, it's good to hear that you're feeling better. I know you've been sick for a little while here, so good to hear that you're doing better. And here we have a special guest, the one, the only, Mr. Bumpf. He came, he was in the Winter Community Championships finals, and he went all the way, and he was one of the winners, and we are lucky to have him on the show today. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing fine.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, before we get in, we're gonna talk with Bumpf here, get to know him a little bit, maybe get some behind the scenes thought on the Winter Community Championship when he was competing last Saturday here, because oh my gosh, it was action packed, a nail biter almost every single round, had me on the edge of my seat, and it was just like so amazing. Before we get into that, we just want to, Ninja and I want to let everyone know that coming this Thursday, March the 17th, at 12 noon Eastern, we will be interviewing, and we'll have a special episode of Stadium Connect North for the developers from Deliver Us the Moon. So our good friends at Wired Productions are going to be publishing Deliver Us the Moon. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it, so We've been doing some hard work behind the scenes here and secured an interview. So that's coming Thursday, March the 17th, 12 noon Eastern. Stay tuned for more details. So yeah, I mean, super excited about that. So I guess we'll get right in here and let's talk a little bit, find out a little bit about Bumpf here. Maybe we can start off here. Bumpf, where are you from? And maybe tell us a little bit about like how you got into gaming and discovered Stadia and maybe even the Winter Community Championships.
Yeah, I'm from Germany, so it's already 10:30 at my place now. Yeah, I started gaming, I don't know, quite early with 8 or something. Got our first computer at home, and I started playing with games like Monkey Island and Commander Keen. I don't know if NinjaGuy
Oh yeah,
looked it up.
Commander Keen, yep.
I just forgot about that.
I remember Commander Keen, yep.
Commander.
And I came to Stadia through another cloud gaming service we had in Germany that was announced at the same time Stadia was released, so about 2 years ago. And I was in the closed beta in this one. Unfortunately, this service is not anymore here. It closed down 4 weeks ago, something.
Okay, yeah.
But through this cloud gaming service, I came to get to know the people from the Cloud Play community. It's a German talk show about cloud gaming. I don't know if you know it, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and through this, I came to get to know some facts about Stadia that I didn't knew before, like that you don't need a pro abo and stuff. I still have it anyway, but it's good that you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm using Stadia since, I guess, October, November last year.
Oh wow. Okay, great.
So
So
not
what
too long
are
ago.
yeah, so what are some of your favorite games on Stadia that you like to play? Aside from Dawn of the Monsters, I know that's a favorite with a lot of people here, but or maybe even like some of the other types of games you like to play and whatnot.
I'm currently at Assassin's Creed Valhalla since almost November or 2 because it's
I was about
Wow.
to say since
a lot
forever,
of
right?
time.
Because
and yeah, like last week I played the Dark Side Detective because point and click adventures are always cool. I guess I was the first one to finish Adam Wolf completely.
Oh, nice.
with
Yeah.
Stadia.
Yep.
in a day, right? You did that like in a full, like you did that in a 1 day
Yeah,
or two.
it was released and I just finished it. So, more or less
I
like
think
that.
you said it took you about 8 hours, something like that, if I remember.
Nah, not even close, 4.5.
Oh, wow. Really? You beat it 4.5? Oh my gosh.
With
I
all
must be doing
achievements.
something wrong, right? Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, I'm used to hidden object games, so
Okay.
Yeah. And you've also
can
been
spot this
playing a pretty cool platformer lately, right?
yeah, and Shantae, I'm still playing Shantae.
Oh,
Risky's
okay,
Revenge. I'm
Nice.
in there for the last 2 achievements now, but this one is a speedrun achievement, so you have to go through under 2 hours, I guess.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm on that now, and a little bit of Valhalla in between, and yeah, I guess I'm pushing the second part of Darkside Detective in there as well around
Nice.
next week.
It's a good game to start playing right after Adam Wolf because it's a detective game and they're
Yeah.
very much like they're not the same in type of comedy, but they're like very fun, but whatsoever. The same style of gameplay.
Yep.
Wow. So I heard you mention about achievements and in several different games. So I would take it as you're maybe a member of Stadia Hunters, like you're very much into 100%ing games or getting all the achievements.
Depending on the game, I joined Stadia
Okay.
Hunters, I guess 2 weeks ago or something,
Mhm.
because I didn't knew it existed before.
Right.
Yeah, but depending on the game, I would like to make it 100%. If it's
Nice.
a game where it needs multiplayer achievements, I usually don't go for it because it's too much work for
Mhm.
a lot of games. I
Mhm.
noticed for Red Dead Redemption Part 1, for example, you need to play like until you're level 50.
Mhm.
Oh, wasn't it? You got to like win like three for all games in a row at like number one. It's like ridiculous. Red Dead Redemption 1. Yeah, I know the pain.
Oh my
So
gosh.
multiplayer achievements are a pain in the ass for me, and I'm not going for these. But if it's single player or not too much work, if it feels like work, I'm not doing it.
As long as it's fun, right? Like
Yeah,
that's what's
exactly.
important about it.
Okay. So Peppa Pig. You 100% at Peppa Pig.
It's the best game ever.
I don't have it yet, but
You don't. Okay.
But I have Paw Patrol on 100%.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh, nice.
Good. We'll have to somehow work Peppa Pig in to Bumpf here because I'd love to see him get 100% on Peppa Pig.
Yeah. While he's streaming.
If I
and
have it,
everything.
I'm going for it.
It's a point and click adventure somewhat. So well, kind of.
Yeah. So I think I think other than the From Space demo, because that was the first game on Stadia that I got all of the achievements in. Ninja and I played that. Peppa Pig is the second game on Stadia that I've got all the achievements in, and I started to play the outright games and to get all the achievements, but it kind of fell off a little bit here.
So that's actually a funny story
that.
that maybe John doesn't know. But the thing is, I think his next game to 100% was PJ Mask, and the game kept crashing on him, and I think he just got discouraged, right? Because he kept like trying and just kept crashing. So I can understand.
I think like they have the fix out now for that. I haven't went back to it, but yeah, I was streaming as part of, I think it was Caring from the Clouds, and then the week after I was streaming, and it just kept crashing. I would get to a certain part, and I was like, oh, yeah. But anyways, no, I enjoy it. Maybe just not an achievement hunter like everybody else here on the panel, but I do enjoy playing games, and for those select games that I really do enjoy, going in and unlocking all the achievements and seeing everything that there is to see and do. So let's maybe fast forward a little bit to the Winter Community Championships. And let's say maybe we'll talk a little bit about like the qualifying rounds, each of the 3 weeks leading up to the finals. Was there anything that maybe stood out for you, or anything in particular that you had difficulties with in the 3 games that you were playing to compete?
I'm not that much into racing games, and that was the first week was like Wreckfest, and I was like, oh no. I mean, racing games are good for competitions and stuff, but not for me.
When you did try it though, like, did you enjoy it? Because it, like, when you do these competitions, it doesn't feel like, because you're always repeating the same thing, it felt more like a challenge than a racing game, I find.
Yeah.
So,
and Wreckfest was not the racing part, it was more the crashing part. So it was better as well. But it was on snow, so it was quite difficult. If you are not into racing games, it's even harder. But I connected with the Cloudplay community, so with the German guys, Scooterama, Gizmodark, and Mugen, and we made some sessions together in all of these 3 qualifications rounds. And we had quite a lot of fun, I guess, in these 3 weeks of the qualification, because we were at the beginning of the week we were streaming together and like connecting and giving us hints and tips each other how to get better and stuff.
Awesome.
For week 3 I had a lot of brainstorming sessions with
gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, like Bumpf had, like, for the third week, which is Merrick's Market, he had this big Excel sheet which explained like the possible top score that he could get, and it was anyway. I'll let you explain like how you did that. Yeah,
I was just thinking. I mean, week 1 and week 2 were dominated by Max Beer, and Krulk. because we were both first and second, and it was maybe my personal pride or something. I don't know. I just wanted to not let that happen in week 3 again.
Oh man.
So I wrecked my mind and was examining and stuff for Merrick's market to find a perfect strategy to get the scores. I mean, it helped a lot that the leaderboard was not the best score, but the latest, so you could hide your best score.
Yeah.
Especially, it was good because the finishing time for the challenges was always like in the middle of the night, so I couldn't make some last minute score like Max or no. Yeah, so and I was like, experimenting in the game and stuff, and was making this Excel sheet to track how much money each item gives and
Yeah.
at which parts you can like maximize your score and the money you get from these guys. And when I was in the game and trying to block these people to see if it has an income or impact on the money they give you afterwards, like the tips you get. And I was writing it down and putting some formulas in and stuff, and yeah, it was a lot of brain wrecking, but it was a lot of fun, to be honest.
Yeah, because I remember Ninja, when you and I were commentating the weekends, like a summary of the weeks. I believe Bumpf, you had mentioned, because Ninja had said about it's hard to remember all the different things, like the order of stuff that is coming in. I think you had mentioned, Bumpf, in the chat there, like you had like a list of it, like it written down, so you knew the exact order of what was coming next and what to do and everything. So that was well within the confines of the challenge there. So that was very smart and like almost genius, like, really.
Yeah, the first two columns were, this is my Excel sheet. The first column is like the item that was coming, and the second list was on which table it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured out the first 3 things that are green. They came in waves, the customers. And in these waves, it was possible to change the outcome because the multiplicator was still under the maximum.
Okay.
So if you and there were clothes where were the high ranked items were like 21 in base price. So if you get these items for a higher multiplicator, it would be better. So I was blocking these guys that came in to want to buy clothes, so that other people want to buy a belt or a chair or something are going past these guys that want the clothes and order first to get the multiplier higher.
That's insane.
Oh my gosh.
I wish your good one would have been recorded, because I would have loved to see that, and it would have been cool to share to the developers also, because I bet that they never thought of like these kind of tricks themselves to do that. So.
I can stream a run of this one. This is no problem.
It's up to you, but I am sure that the developer would love to see the strategy that went on that.
I just think it's great how technical you've gone into this. This is
exactly.
Beyond me.
You could make the strategy guide, maybe sell it to the developer. Right? Yeah.
I even maximized the point of how you block these guys. At the beginning, I was just like going down and throwing 2 logs or 3 in front of these just to block them all. And after a few tries, I managed to find out you only have to put 1 log exactly in front of the left counter. So the guy is walking to the counter, but his walk is just like, oh, there's a log, and is walking against the log and not ordering. So the other guys just went on the right counter to order and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh. And I think also too, because I remember when we were commenting, Ninja, like Bumpf found like the exact distance that you could accept money away from the counter or something like that. Like you don't have to go
Yeah.
right up to the counter to accept the money. Like you could be a certain distance away and still accept the money, and that way, it gives
Yeah.
you that millisecond of time that actually is quite helpful.
It's crazy, like doing these kind of challenges, because it's so like because it doesn't take a long time. You take a lot of time to repeating. You just keep finding these little things that makes it so much better. And I'm thinking Rayman, because Rayman had so much like variety of stuff that you could do to improve. After you improve something, then you could try to think about something else. Like it just wouldn't stop. This could have lasted like a whole month of improvement. Like there was just so much stuff to learn from that game, which was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was Merrick's Market as well, because sometimes I noticed you can throw this stuff. Okay, I noticed it quite early, but you could throw this the thing, like the sand you need, quite early to the table in the top, and you can work on it before you're standing in front of the table.
Oh.
If it's already lying on this, you can start to press the work on it button quite shortly after you went past the oven.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
It's only 3 seconds of effort, but that is safe. But yeah, it worked.
So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so like it's crazy also because it's sometimes just not a game that you actually play, but the challenge just makes it so much fun too.
Yeah,
because you probably didn't play Merrick's Market afterward, right? Like you didn't.
No, I just tried to improve my score afterwards again, but I haven't played it since then.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So all of this led to you being pretty high in the finalist competition. I think you were like second or third.
You're fourth.
You were fourth. Interesting. Yep. So then we got to play 4 games, which was, man, I'm having a blank. Okay, Super Animal Royale. Then we got Dirt 5. We got Cake Bash, and then we got Killer Queen Black. So if you don't mind going through these, I know that in Super Animal Royale, how did you feel? Because I know that you finished first place on the first match, which qualified you first into going into the next section. So how did that feel?
It was awesome because it was so intense. The last seconds of Super Animal Royale. I mean, I had like 1 HP left or something. The last seconds, and I still had 1 or 2 guys to kill. I was standing there surrounded by gas and didn't know where the last one was, and I was just fill up my HP and
bottoms up, right? Bottoms up, yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah. Was there any type of like strategy you had throughout the game in Super Animal Royale? Like I know some people, like I was commentating with Vivi and Adam was mentioning, Original Penguin was mentioning that his strategy is just to go hide and only like embrace others when you absolutely have to. Was there anything in specific, like you had a special tactic going into the game that you were thinking of, or was it just all out, just kill and go gun-ho?
My strategy was basically first to try to get the weapons and items that are my favorite, because Super Animal Royale was basically the game I practiced the most because it was the first game. So I was jumping off from the plane quite early because the usual setup I had was an AK and a shotgun. Because one was long range and fast shooting, and the other one is more short ranged. And quite at the beginning, I saw a spot on the beach where was a blue shotgun, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take that. Because no other one was jumping out of it, so I'm going straight for this one. And when I think I got a level 3 armor quite early. So, and when I was finding a blue AK as well, so I was equipped with the stuff I wanted to have, and when I was just, okay, go for it.
Yeah, nice.
But,
Oh,
but
man.
with 16 people, it was quite hard at the beginning to see someone. I mean,
Yeah, it's a big map.
Yeah, I rewatched the your commentating on the stuff and what you were looking at, and you were saying like, okay, normally in the beginning we're always guys dying quite early, but I mean it's a big map and like 16 instead of 64 people, so you had to walk a while until you see someone.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. So so you made it past, or you finished first in Super Animal Royale, and then the next round was Dirt 5. And because you finished first in Super Animal Royale, you had you were granted uh, the ability to be the last into Dirt 5. So how did that play in your favor? Was there anything like, I know you said, like you've already mentioned, that you're not really too keen on racing games. So obviously Dirt 5 is not, one of your top favorite games, or one that you would play a lot. So how did being able to watch the other competition, play into factor on how you approached Dirt 5?
Yeah, at the beginning, I was always to my German colleagues that were joining the finals as well, like Mugen and Scudorama and Gizmodak. I was like, okay, if I'm getting to Dirt 5, it's going to be a neck breaker. Because I don't know if I'm going to do it or it's just not my type of game. But lucky me, I was last to enter the match. I was like, okay, I was watching the first one racing and I was like, okay, I'm seeing the track now. I could practice it now. When I thought, should I have a bad consciousness if I'm doing it? And when the second race was starting, and it was, fuck it.
Nice.
I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
I was like putting the YouTube you're commentating on the one screen and put Dirt 5 on the other screen, and I was just like, okay.
That's smart.
Just practicing this race and hope for the best.
Yeah.
and it worked out.
And it delivered, right? We got a question here from the chat. They're Lepis Lelipek Play says, will you play Rayman Legends someday yet? Meaning, will you play it more eventually?
For the qualifications, I already played it to the max, I guess. Because even it was announced for week 2, and I bought it, and I played through the complete story 100%.
Oh my gosh!
Wow!
Okay.
Wow!
So I'm basically only missing the one thing that's bugged out now.
Oh, right, the online challenges, right?
Yeah, you have to collect trophies, and you can only do this through these online challenges, and these are bugged out now at the moment, so I can't do this. So probably I'm not going to play it now.
Yeah, exactly. So after Dirt 5, we've got a 20-minute break, and you told us that you were going to do something during this 20-minute, but I don't know if you were joking or not. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, it was part joke and part serious. Because at that point I was like, oh gosh, it's nearly midnight and we're going for a 20-minute break now. Seriously. I was already quite tired because I was quite earlier this day, and I thought like, oh, could we just please go on? And I was thinking about making a power nap, but I was just no. If I'm doing it now, I'm not going to wake up again.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh!
So I just went to the toilet, got me something new to drink, and just I joined Scooterama. He was streaming Cyberpunk at this time already. So I joined him in the voice chat to talk to him to not fall asleep.
That's smart. Oh man.
Oh
awesome.
Jeez.
That's funny. And then during Cake Bash, I think they brought you for an interview, and they ask you. No, it's after Cake Bash. They ask you, what would you do if you get the money? If you win the money, first or second place. So if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, it was after Cake Bash, I guess. It was for the
Yes.
final, for the last game.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just saying I need a new bed. And I still needed one, and I just bought one this week.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you go.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Now, like during the next championship, you might not last that 20 minutes. You'll be like, "Oh my gosh, my bed is so soft. Maybe I'm not going to be able to make it this time, right?" But giving the feedback, though, I think we're going to try to do it a little bit early next time because it did impact your performance for this time. So we'll try to take that into consideration next
Yeah,
time.
maybe next time I try to not have my child at this weekend, so I
That
can
would
sleep
help.
longer.
I think
Yeah,
Full Fledged can relate, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because the championship did start 3 p.m. Eastern, so that would have been 9 o'clock at night for you, Bumpf, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it just starting, and it went for almost 4 hours. So yeah, I think definitely that would be a good idea.
Yeah, but
for the
9
next-
p.m.
next-
9 p.m. was a good starting time because my child was already asleep at this time.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
If it would have been 8 p.m., it would be hard to start with joining. So
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And then we got to Killer Queen Black, which so you won Cake Bash.
Mhm.
I don't know like if there's actually like good strategy with Cake Bash or not, but you did win this one, and then you ended up with Killer Queen Black. Did you had any strategies going against Max 4? And how did it feel? Like, were you stressed or like were you super sleepy? How did it work out?
I was quite high pitched, I guess, but so a mixture between sleepy and high pitched.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I was quite nervous after after the third round because I was leading 2-1, so I had like 2 winning matches, but I lost anyway. But it was so close, and all 5 rounds were very close. And like
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
round was Max killed me 2 times. I only had 1 life left. I killed him 2 times, and it
Yep.
was even
That was
again.
crazy.
When
Yeah.
he won this round, next round was the opposite. I killed him
Yes.
twice.
Yeah.
Third round, I got quite lucky. I killed him like in 10 seconds 3 times.
Mhm.
So it felt like this for me. And yeah, the fourth and the fifth round were close as well. It was really intense. So, but to be honest, it was like a deathmatch 1v1. You don't have to really get a strategy for this because it was more a reaction game at
Mhm.
this point.
That makes sense.
Precision
yeah.
a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a guessing the movement of the
Yeah.
opponent, but I can understand like how it could be stressful and hard, and it's nice. Like what was crazy is that you guys had like the same skill set, so like the match was so intense. Like I
Yeah.
really advise you guys to go watch it. Like I don't even know if it's 15 minutes, but it's really intense and really fun to watch. So yeah, you guys should have a look at that. So
Very evenly matched for sure.
Yeah.
Very. It's like
Mhm.
even like just me watching it, like my hands were sweating and I had knots in my stomach, and I'm not even playing the game or have what's on the line, the coming in first or second and the money and stuff like that. So it was fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
Like I mean, the whole championship was awesome, but definitely that last Killer Queen Black between you and Max was just like amazing. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like
it was
kudos
great.
to both of you. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the aftermath, you finished the game. You were finally able to get some sleep. Did it work out? Because I feel like a match like that, you wouldn't be able to sleep too well. Did it take time for you to recover back to normal sleep? And how did you feel the day after?
The day after it was okay. I guess I'm just good in managing my sleep well because I didn't felt too bad. I mean, I was waking up. The prize money was already on my PayPal.
Oh wow! There you go. Yeah.
So
Nice.
it was quite. Yeah, it was a good feeling because I never imagined I would even get to the top 2 or winning
Yeah.
anything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you that, you don't always have to finish, first to make it to, it's just getting to those finals. And then when you get to those finals, it's anybody's game. And yeah, it was awesome. It's like, we're all rooting for you.
Oh yeah,
Things
that
like
was
that.
yeah. It was my buddy Bumpf, right? So I was kind of in my head. I was like kind of rooting for him a little bit, even
Yeah.
though not Sean, but Max was Canadian, but
Mhm.
Bumpf is my pal, right? So I had a little hope that he was going to do it, but it was so close though.
Yeah.
But all right, so Sean, thank you very much for participating in this interview. Like, we really appreciate you coming here. I know
Yeah,
it's pretty
thank
late
you.
where you are. Just one last question: Will you be participating in the summer championship this summer 2022?
If it fits in my time schedule, of course. It
Awesome,
was so much
Awesome.
fun. So if I have the time for it, I'm going for it.
awesome. That's very
Great.
cool to hear. Yeah. So, guys, this was Mr. Sean Bumpf. He's been starting to stream. He's on Twitch. You can find him on Twitch / is it Bumpf or?
Yep.
Oh man, I
Oh.
think it's hidden.
Oh,
Wait,
hold on.
Bring him.
Hold on. We
There
can
you
turn
go.
that off.
Oh, you can turn it off. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's my Twitter.
Oh,
So
His Twitter handle is Bumpf Sean.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can find him on Twitch. He's very fun to watch. We have our morning streams and doing some Dawn of the Monsters at the moment. And Sean, do you have anything else to say before we leave you to your dreaming bed that you're gonna have pretty soon?
no, just thanks for having me, and thanks again for hosting the Winter Community Championship. And I'm looking forward for the summer thing. And yeah,
Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And
Thanks.
yeah, have a good night.
Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
cheerio.
Bye.
Oh, wow. There you go. Wow, that was
Oh, man.
awesome. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, I
to-
love Sean. He's awesome. Yeah,
to
I
be
really
able
like
to
him.
speak to him and
Yeah.
get some insight on the championships and what he was going through. And again, like I mentioned there, it was like such a nail biter. The Killer Queen Black, back and forth, and like Bumpf mentioned, one round it was 2-1, then the next round it was flip and reverse. So him and Max were very, very well, the same skill set. Maybe in the summer community championships, we could have some type of like a rematch between the two of them.
be
A
cool.
different game, obviously, just to see, maybe kick off the championships like that with the winners from last season's championship that kicks off the second one. So who knows? But really looking forward to the summer community championship and the new faces that we'll see there is for sure as well, without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we talked with Sean here. And now we're going to go ahead and move on in to the news here. And we don't want me over here. Let's go. Okay. So we're going to start here. Let me bring it up. We've got the Summer Community Championship. Oh, do I have? I think I.
Oh, that's
I
my
turned
screen.
on- Yeah.
Hey guys, I was looking at the
was
poll there.
trying to
Like,
think,
I was curious.
if you could share my screen for
Yeah,
me.
definitely. Give me a sec here. There you go.
Yep. And don't forget the poll that we have running. Thanks for reminding me. Are you expecting any big announcements at the upcoming Google for Games Developer Summit, which is happening this coming Tuesday? So please let us know, and we'll tie that in with a little bit of information that we're going to be talking about here in the news. Let me make sure I've got this set. Yep, we're good to go. So this week was quite a week for Stadia. We got a couple of blog posts here, which was awesome. It is good to see. This week was This Week on Stadia. So not only did we get that blog post, but we got two more blog posts here. And so we're going to run through each of the posts here and talk about some of the news that we learned here. Starting right off at the very beginning here, right in the blog post, Join Stadia for the Google for Games Developer Summit on March 15th. We are 1 week away from the Google for Games Developer Summit 2022, featuring speakers from Stadia and all over Google. Tune in as we go deep in a series of technical presentations, and this is what caught the eye of many people here. Learn more about our plans for Stadia this year. When this blog came out here on Tuesday and people saw that, it's like I saw in the community, like a lot of people were super excited about this. And it's great to see. We will talk a little bit about Google setting expectations for the summit here, but yeah, it's good to see here. Again, it's a summit that's for developers, so it's very focused on the technical side of things, but there is the opening keynote here that it appears that we're going to learn what Google has in store for Stadia later this year.
Yeah.
The festivities kick off with a keynote presentation at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you won't want to miss it. So I'm going to do a little bit of a tie-in here. I know that Ninja is going to talk about it a little bit later, but I'll just briefly mention that I'll be streaming the keynote and all of the sessions that are Stadia related on the 15th, Tuesday. So you can head on over to my YouTube channel on Tuesday. We'll get started about 10 minutes before the keynote, get everything up and running and going, and we'll hear a little bit more about that later.
Yeah, and that's why we want to keep talking about it later on during our show, because it's something very exciting and we like to talk about this. So that's what we'll open up the chat with today.
Yep. Alrighty. So here we are. We've heard about Matt Street, that it was coming to Stadia. And keen people in the Stadia community have been following their Twitter account and noted about that. This was a couple of weeks ago, and we mentioned it, about that there was a coming to Steam on the 15th of March, and somebody asked, is that also coming for Stadia? Well, sure enough, we've got the confirmation here. Mad Streets is launching Tuesday, the 15th, on Stadia, and it's a physics-based party game, it says here, which has an emphasis on fist fighting, bringing something new to the genre with interactivity not seen in a fighting game, all while cracking a smile and bursting up laughter over ridiculous physics interactions. Mad Street launches on Stadia March the 15th. So I'm going to go...
week?
Yeah, March. So the same day as the Google for Game Developers Summit on Tuesday, that's when Mad Street is going to launch. And now I'm going to, because this is related to Mad Street's here, we're going to go over to a tweet that Mad Street's Twitter account put out here and said, in case you missed it, Mad Streets is out on Stadia on the 15th. And this was, again, caught the eye of many people. Updates coming weekly on all platforms following launch. So Mad Streets are going to have weekly updates here. If we go here, we can look at little videos here. You can see, like, this is going to be such a fun game because you can see everyone just going out. Like, think of like a big, huge pillow fight, or you know what I mean? Like, just messing around with friends and just having fun. You can see in the crazy physics too, knocking people off, smacking them, punching. Like,
it looks very similar to Gang Beasts, if anyone's ever played that.
Yeah, I didn't thought of
Similar
that.
in that sort of way,
Yeah.
and sort of the physics of Get Packed as well. It just
Yeah,
looks
or human fall
mental.
flat, like
Yeah.
that kind of, yeah.
Or
That's true.
even if you think about it, Cake Bash too. In Cake Bash, when everyone's all fighting around,
Oh, yeah.
slapping each other and stuff like that. So this is awesome. So this is coming out. It's already out on Xbox, but it's coming to Stadia and I think PC on Tuesday, March the 15th. Again, we're in talks with a developer to have them come on the show for an interview. It's a very small development team, and they are extremely busy putting the finishing touches on the game to get it for us to play for Stadia. So look forward to yet another developer interview from our friends over at Mad Streets. They're out of British Columbia here in Canada on the West Coast. So we are going to be talking with them shortly. So let's go back here, back to the This Week on Stadia. And we know actually last Friday, Ryan's Rescue Squad soared onto Stadia, and Fletch knows all about this. Had very extensive gameplay, and you did a review on this as well for Ryan's Rescue Squad. It's a platforming game, and Ryan's friends have been kidnapped by the evil Dark Titan and company, and the only one who can save them is, you guessed it, you. So Ryan's Rescue Squad here, it's got a handful of characters that you can play with from Ryan's universe here. From Ryan and Combo Panda to Alpha Alexa, Gus the Gummy Gator, Fight Through Slime and Surprises and Worlds of Toys, Pirate Space, Prehistoric Times, and more. So that's two Ryan's games that have come out on Stadia here, all within the matter of a week. We got on Stadia Pro, I think a week or two. On Stadia Pro, we got the racing game from Ryan there, Deluxe Edition. And last Friday, about a week ago here, we got Ryan's Rescue Squad. So without going into too much detail here, Fletch, you have a younger son who played the game, who you played the game with as well. What were his overall impressions of the game?
Yeah, so he's a big fan of Ryan anyway. Sort of, I think it's the same with anyone. Sort of, if you have a kid who likes Ryan, this is one of the games you should pick up. Moreover than Ryan's sort of Racing with Ryan. He found it. He's only 4 years old and found the controls a lot easier to use than Ryan's sort of Racing with Ryan. So Ryan's Rescue Squad's really catered to that sort of more younger audience between sort of 2 to 6 years old. It's incredibly easy for him to pick up. He enjoyed it. There were a couple of issues with it, sort of like the soundtrack annoyed him a bit because it was the same song on repeat level. And so he got a bit irritated with it. And there were a couple of sections where sort of he didn't really understand because the controls weren't really laid out correctly. So I had to sort of show him. But overall, it's a great game for sort of the younger kids. It is on the pricier side. But I would say if they're a massive fan of Ryan, it's well worth the price because you're getting 6 hours plus of content for the younger audience, especially because they're not gonna I completed it in sort of 4 to 5, but as you know, sort of younger kids will take way longer than that because they'll want to take it all in. So but yeah, it's a fun platformer game, especially for kids.
Awesome. So the big question is, Fletch, everybody wants to know in the chat, the phone's ringing off the hook here. Did you get 100% in this game, Ryan's Rescue Squad? Did you 100% it?
I did not.
You did not? What? I thought you did.
No, I actually missed out a couple of bits along the way when I was playing through it, and I haven't had a chance to go back to it yet. Unfortunately, when I was reviewing this, I was quite ill, so I was trying to get the review done. But I'll probably go back to it and 100% it. You know me.
Nice.
Yeah. That's funny. I totally thought that you did, but then, I realized you've been sick and not feeling well, so we'll let it slide this time. But
this time, yeah.
Yeah, this time here.
Yeah.
So next we've got news on the Elder Scrolls Online's next big adventure. We talked about this a couple of weeks earlier too, Ascending Tide. So the first part of the legacy of the Bretons' year-long adventure kicks off this week with the launch of the Elder Scrolls Online Ascending Tide. It introduces 2 challenging new dungeons for you and your party to explore. Ascending Tide begins the chivalric story that will take players to the oh boy, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. A place in the High Isle chapter. We'll just go with that.
Oh my gosh.
In this
archipelago Okay.
Okay, so what's that? It's
Sistress Archipelago.
Oh my gosh.
okay. So there we
That.
go. A place-
Whatever
yeah,
he said.
That, yeah. In this new dungeon add-on content, you and your crew must investigate the hideaway of a nefarious brotherhood in the Coral Airy and search for lost treasure in the eerie abandoned dockyards of Shipwright's Regret. Launching on March the 14th, you can get access to the Sending Tide add-on content via ESO Plus membership with crowns from the in-game crown store on Stadia. So that's interesting. I know Elder Scrolls fan have been looking for that, forward to this, and yeah, the content is here.
They keep getting some new stuff. We keep seeing some news about Elder Scrolls. Like they keep supporting the game, which is kind of cool.
Yep, that is awesome for sure. And I know we've got a couple of fans out here in the chat. I know Polidero, or aka the Scientist, is a big Dead by Daylight fan here.
Well, look who's here. We even got Lucky Six in the chat.
Lukey's here. Yeah, he's a big fan as well.
Yeah.
So here's brand new content for Dead by Daylight, and just so happens that it's a free play weekend on Stadia. This new content says, from the depths, the dark present stirs. Will you have the guts to look it in the eye? I don't know if I would. The curse of Dead by Daylight is alive and well with a new chapter. Sadeko Rising, inspired by a novel, Ringu, and its subsequent film adaptation. We can see that inspiration there, with someone coming out of the TV there. The game features a brand new killer and a new survivor. So that's awesome. You can see I skipped over what their names were because I already knew that I couldn't pronounce them here.
That trailer just freaked me out. I saw.
Yeah, it's very freaky.
I'm not good with horror. I'm really not good with horror, and that just freaked me out.
Putting it on repeat. Look at
That's right. We got to put it on repeat here. It's a bone-chilling experience from start to finish. Just ask Fletch. Your hands will shake like a rumble pack while playing this game. Dead by Daylight, Sadeko Rising is now available on Stadia. I know Dead by Daylight has a ton of add-on content. This game is it is so awesome. There's so many different add-ons and characters and whatnot that you can get for the game here. And I know there's a big community for it as well. Polidero, Lukey as well. I can see here in a comment, says the killer is awesome.
Nice.
So this is great for those fans. Fletch is afraid of the eye there, so we'll go past this here.
I'm not gonna lie, I did minimize my screen. I was like, nah.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
I told you I'm really not good with jump scare things. It's just not me.
You can trust us. We did not put it back on repeat. Yeah, you can trust us.
I remember playing Dead by Daylight with Endeavor and a few guys from Stadia Hunters before, and just the entire time I was just sweating. I was there oh no, I don't like this. I don't like this.
So here the blog post references about the free play weekend that's currently going on now. Started on the 10th and ends on Monday, March the 14th. It's a game that feels like you're smack dab in the middle of a nightmare/horror film, and only the bravest will dare to try this one with the lights off. What's better than trying before buying? The free play weekend, the multiplayer action survival horror game for no cost. The full game will be available until the end of the day on March the 14th, Monday.
Ooh, nice.
So that was our first blog post of the week from Stadia. And then we're going to move here. I'm going to close this up. And then, sure enough here, I believe this was on Wednesday. The very next day, another blog post here. So what the heck is going on? Next up on Stadia, City Skylines, Overcooked All You Can Eat, and Golf with Your Friends. Now, I know on Discord we were talking, I believe Fletch and there were several other people had been talking about this, over the course of the past several months about City Skylines and hoping that it would come to Stadia, and we'll look. Sure enough, here it is. It's been announced, along with two other games here. And and here we go. Let's see. It says, with a little bit of everything, what's not to love about today's game announcement? We're excited to reveal 3 incredible games coming soon from 2 new publishers making their debut on Stadia. And that's important. So that's 2 new publishers bringing games to Stadia, opening the door for even more to come in the future. If you've got a knack for building, Paradox Interactive is making their way to Stadia this spring with City Skylines, giving you all the tools you need to create your own sprawling metropolis. Then, Team 17 is also arriving on Stadia in a big way with 2 titles launching in April. So that's next month, featuring the competitive co-op cuisine of Overcooked All You Can Eat, yum, 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 and the mini golf madness of Golf with Your Friends. Read up here for the key gameplay information on these games here that are coming to the store. So City Skylines here, this is announced as coming in spring. So we've got that spring time frame. Spring technically lasts all the way up until, I believe it's June the 20th or the 19th. So there's still a wide window here, but hopefully sooner than later. City Skylines here, you can build your city. Now, maybe instead of just reading all this, Fletch, I know you're a fan of this game. So obviously, like, have you played this before, or can you maybe tell us a little bit about it rather than, me reading line from line on what they're talking about here?
Yeah, so I've played sort of not massively long of it, but I have played it when it went on to PlayStation Plus quite some time ago. But yeah, sort of it's very similar to if anyone's played SimCity before. Sort of you start from sort of having your small little town, and then you can build it up. You have to supply electricity, water, traffic control, absolutely everything sort of to simulate with regards to a city. That's what you have to do to grow your big metropolis. And obviously there's sort of different world events as well, different sort of, you can get like earthquakes, tornadoes, etc. Fires on buildings. So you've got it is a very heavy sim management game when you get into it, when you go on to later stages. But it's really good. It does get very intense very quickly. And I've seen some incredible things online where people have built sort of these cities that are sort of, they don't even need to do anything. It's all self-preserved. So it's phenomenal what people can do with it. And sort of, yeah, you're looking at hundreds of hours of gameplay you can put into this. It's great.
Nice.
And there's no mention here whether it's going to be a Stadia Pro game or not. But we've seen, like Fletch has mentioned, it has been part of PS Plus. Currently, right now on PC, I believe it's free on the Epic Games Store.
Yes.
So there's a possibility. Again, this is all speculation. Nothing has been said. Either way, that this could very well be a Stadia Pro game when it does come out here. So that was good. I mean, other than that, that's my question I was going to ask you is it similar to SimCity? And you answered that right away here. So for all those diehard Sim fans here, I mean, you can build the city of your dreams. And just it looks like it's super in depth here, like Fletch was talking about. And light in my room here decided to turn off again. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but I've got the remote here to turn it back on. So City Skylines coming from Paradox Interactive, a brand new publisher coming to Stadia here, and this is their first game. So really looking forward to that here.
They're also behind the games like Prison Architect and Crusader Kings. So I'm hoping we see if they bring this, they bring Crusader Kings 3. That'd be very nice.
And awesome. The Stadia Adventure has a good point, and I wanted to talk about that too. He says, that's what he says, like new publishers coming out of our ears. Usually, like, this is something that we get a lot excited about because this just means that Stadia has a new relation with these publishers, which, like Fletch says, like we can get like more of these games coming out. I mean, I feel like Stadia is working on that, like more friendships with a lot of publishers, and that they're spreading the word, and seeing new publishers coming in is very exciting.
I think what's good as well is sort of with the whole summit coming up, you know that
Mhm.
these publishers will be watching as well. Even though
Yes.
they're bringing their new games, they're going to be
Ah.
watching. And for me personally, I'm really happy to see Team 17 on Stadia because I love Worms, I love Hell Let Loose. Bring both of those games, you'll make my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like Worms is pretty much like the the main, like Team 17 known for Worms, so it's like their cover game. So I think
Mm.
that there's quite a good possibility that Worms could be coming to Stadia. But as like Ninja mentioned here too, not only are more games exciting, that it's coming to Stadia, because not every game that comes is going to be for everybody, but it's new publishers too. So
Mhm.
we get these new publishers with the option, or the possibility of bringing even more of their libraries over. So yeah, this is good. I know a lot of people are going to be super excited to play this on Stadia. I'll give it a try. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'll probably play it. I'll give it a good go. I'm not too much of a hardcore sim fan, but yeah, I'll definitely try it out and stream it the best that I can here. So for people wondering what it may look or run like on Stadia, but yeah, this is good. Like, you can never have too many games, and seeing this sim game come over to Stadia is great. Well, so now it brings us up to Team 17. We talked a little bit with Bumpf about Merrick's Market earlier, and Overcooked All You Can Eat is similar-ish to Merrick's Market here, and this is coming to Stadia. You can see down here in the bottom here, you can play with 4 other people, and this is going to be online multiplayer as well. And you're working together as a team here to put together and orders and get them delivered and whatnot. And it says here the peckish have risen again, and it's your job to satisfy their hunger. Are you ready to save the world again? Overcooked All You Can Eat is a chaotic cooking game where players need to work together or alone to serve as many dishes as they can before the timer runs out. Travel through the land, cooking up a variety of recipes in evolving and dynamic kitchens. So it says here's some features that Overcooked goes online for the first time ever. Online multiplayer has been fully integrated into Overcooked. Revisit your favorite kitchens from the first game in, up to 4K accessible with Stadia Pro, and play online. A visual feast. Both games have been taken to the next level with stunning enhanced 4K visuals, accessible with Stadia Pro. So again, this is good for those reading this blog that aren't familiar. It's giving you the little reminder here that you can have 4K visuals with the game, but you need Stadia Pro for 4K. This is the best that the Overcooked series has ever looked. Tasty new content, new levels, new chef, new mayhem, all exclusive to Overcooked All You Can Eat. You can see here, like, this is just going to be so fun to be able to play.
Yes.
Multiple modes. Players can enjoy campaign, survival, and practice mode. Look down here. You can see there's a crap load of chefs to choose from here. It's just crazy awesome. And there's and new to All You Can Eat is an assist mode. This is great. Assist mode offers a number of options to allow for a less frantic game, including slower recipe output, increased round timers, and the option to skip levels. All about accessibility, right?
Yeah.
It's giving the opportunity for everyone to enjoy a game such as this on all various skill levels. That's awesome to hear. And here you go, accessible for all, giving features that allows
Nice.
as many players as possible to join the food frenzy. Scalable UI too, dyslexia-friendly text, and color blindness options are all available. So wow, that's even taking it to the next level. I love seeing stuff like this in games. It's starting to become more and more common that developers are putting in these accessible modes, not only for difficulty, but also things like this, scalable UI, color blindness friendly, so it's again, getting your games into as many players as possible, while still everybody having the same great overall experience. So a big shout
Overcooked is
out.
a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal game.
Really looking forward to it here, and that's coming April, so next month. So again, could it be Stadia Pro? We'd all love it, but I guess we'll find out soon here.
Yep.
And another game coming here, Golf with Your Friends from Team 17, developed by Blacklight Interactive. And they say here, why have friends if not to play golf with your friends?
There you go.
I'm not sure that's the sole reason for having friends, but nonetheless, it could be one of the reasons here. Nothing is out of bounds as you take off courses filled with fast-paced, exciting, simultaneous mini golf. I love mini golf for up to 12 players. And we've got some animated GIFs here. We can see 12-player multiplayer. Make sure your skills are up to scratch as you tee off against 11 other golfers in simultaneous online multiplayer.
I've played this before with a lot of friends, and it is incredibly fun. I would say if there's one game to play, it's definitely this. And yeah, it does destroy friendships.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. There's even themed courses. Go head to head on courses with unique mechanics and holes. Become a pro in the pirate course. Arr, matey. Like these little sound effects I throw in. Aim for the albatross in the ancient theme, or wage an all-out worm warfare in the worms course.
Ooh.
So we're not getting a worms game, but we have a game that has worms in it. So maybe
It's a very interesting course.
Yeah.
If you have played the original Worms, all the original quips are there. It's great.
Awesome. There's even power-ups. Drive a wedge between your friends, as Fletch said, as you trap their ball in honey, freeze it, or even turn it into a cube. Man,
The
this
best
looks
is when you put
so
collision on
fun.
and you just fire your ball at someone and it knocks theirs out.
Oh my gosh, there's 3
Like girl.
galos. Classic mini golf, shoot for the pars and hoops, which looks like this here is kind of like a basketball or something, or swap the hole for a goal in hockey. So there you go. I'm sure we'll have fun with that here, streaming that and trying to see who can score on each other here. And so this is awesome too for all the people that love to make their own levels here. There's a level editor. Put your own spin on the game by creating, sharing, and playing your own courses. So I don't know here. Like I was kind of wondering here. It says put your own spin on the game by creating. It mentions sharing and playing your own courses. So I'm wondering if you'll be able to share these out with the community. Like there'll be kind of like Little Big Planet, where they've got like a list of courses that you can play and you can choose. I'm not sure. So Fletch, like when you've played this previously, are you able to play other people's courses that they've designed?
Yes, you can. Yeah. So there's some, obviously some pretty terrible ones, but then you get the ones which are way over the top, and then some which are just frustratingly difficult. Trying to do these so-called impossible challenges, they are very much impossible.
So that's cool though to hear. So that's great. And there's customizations. Turn the fairway into a runway with unlockable hats, skins, and trails for your ball.
I can see I have a good comment here. He says, level editor with station would be nice. That would be like a very cool feature to have for sure.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That would be awesome. That really would be. So we'll see. I don't know. Again, this is coming in April. To me, this looks like a strong candidate for Stadia Pro. Not only because it might be a game that some would overlook, but the fact that it's 12-player multiplayer, if you've got it with Stadia Pro, if you have a subscription to Pro, all you have to do is claim it and you can play along with your friends here. So I think this is a really good candidate. I'm going to go with an early guess for April that this is going to be one of the pro games with a good amount of certainty. Nothing's been officially announced, so I don't know anything behind the scenes or anything. This is just my gut feeling like this would be a really great candidate for pro. So we'll see here. What in a couple of weeks we'll already be announcing April's games here. So hopefully it won't be April Fools on me, and Call with Your Friends here is going to be part of Stadia Pro.
And for all the achievement hunters as well, it will take the tie for hardest game for achievements as well.
Oh boy.
Really?
Yeah, you have to get like below par in every single level and stuff like that. So yeah, it becomes very
crap. Jeez, I can only imagine. Okay, so that was the second blog post for the week, and I think that there really hasn't ever been more than 2 at most blog posts in the same week. But sure enough, here we are, the third blog post, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're getting spoiled here. I don't think, like, my personal opinion is this isn't going to be something that's consistent. It's like, I wouldn't say, don't expect every week for there to be 2 to 3 blog posts, or on the Tues week that there's going to be multiple posts. I just think at this point in time, there is that information that's available. So I think you could probably say, like, we'll go in certain cycles of, sometimes we'll get multiple posts. Sometimes we'll just stick with, every other week, as they had mentioned before. So as the news becomes available, so I wouldn't set any expectations of having multiple blog posts every single week, or even a blog post in non-blog post weeks, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
But nonetheless, here we're going with our third blog post here, and this one is centered around our good friends Ubisoft, a very strong supporter of the Stadia platform. And we're talking about here Dawn of Ragnarok, which just released yesterday, Thursday, on Stadia and other platforms. That is an add-on for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is basically its own game and by itself. We've got a new announcement here of Trivial Pursuit Live and Discovery Tour Viking Age. Now, this originally came out back in October for owners of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So if you own Valhalla, you've got the Viking Age Tour, and I believe what this is mentioning, because Ubisoft had mentioned that they're going to make a standalone version where you don't have to own Valhalla to be able to play it. So I think that's what this is mentioning here. And then Year 7 for Rainbow Six Siege. I'll go over this here. I'll probably focus more on Trivial Pursuit and Rainbow Six Siege here. But yeah, so we're talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok expansion, new powers of a god, journey into Norse myth, fight new enemies of ice and fire, experience Odin's personal saga. I streamed this, and oh my gosh, I thought so when I do streams here on games that I'm just starting out, just for the stream to show, allow people to see it, I put it on like the easiest setting so I won't have problems. Well, sure enough, the first major fight that I had with one of these individuals here, and I'll go ahead and play this here while I'm talking. Boy, I certainly did have trouble with it. No, that guy right there, I had trouble with, and he kept pushing me back into the fire. Eventually, I got it. I mean, it took a little while just to get used to and things like that. But I streamed this here and basically played the prologue all the way up into what you would consider the quote-unquote beginning of the game here. A little over an hour or so. But yeah, this is definitely Assassin's Creed fans here looking for to get more from the series here. This Dawn of Ragnarok here, again, like we mentioned, it's like almost its own standalone game. looks very beautiful, very well voice acted, and unique here. You can see, you can pick your character, male, female. Um, it's good. So I'd highly recommend, if you're into Assassin's Creed, that you check out Dawn of Ragnarok here. It's a
I
great
believe
add-on for the game.
is it like 30 to 40 hours of content, isn't it? Something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Don't tell Sean. Don't tell Sean Bumpf. He'll go crazy.
Yeah, so we already know Assassin's Creed Valhalla's already got a ton of content as it is. Here's even more, and I believe this is the third add-on for the game. And gosh, Ubisoft does such a great job in providing content for their games here. Again, looks fantastic. And here we go. Dawn of Ragnarok is available now. Players who already own Assassin's Creed Valhalla can purchase Dawn of Ragnarok for $39.99 US, $49.99 Canadian. Now, this game was on sale earlier before it launched, but that sale is over. And there's also now two editions that you can purchase in the store: Valhalla Ragnarok edition, and then the complete edition.
Nice.
That'll get you that content here. The next is another party game here from Ubisoft, Trivial Pursuit Live. So you can play the world's most well-known trivia game on March the 17th. Experience the thrill of competing on a TV trivia game show at home or on the go. It does feature online play and also local, featuring different question formats to challenge players from the beginner to the expert. You can even take on players from around the world in online play. Some of the features here: customize your gameplay. You can choose, your favorite categories, question and answer formats, game length, inclusive through everyone, through adaptive levels. So again, it's that making your game as accessible as you can to a wide range of people. Get the whole family on board. Kid-friendly questions. Let the whole family play together. Unique catch-up rounds. Exclusive question format. So if you're looking for a good game to play with family and friends, stream as well. This is just another game to put in your little basket here with Trivia Pursuit Live.
Yeah.
And it's coming March the 17th. So that's next Thursday when we do our interview with Delirious the Moon developers. Hint, wink, wink.
Yeah. maybe we should ask them for a quick game of Trivial Pursuit. I've been playing the game a lot, like on PlayStation 4, and oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Like, I love it. I've been playing so many hours with my spouse, and the questions are still, like, they're not too hard. They're like, Trivial Pursuit, especially the board game, those questions are just insane, right? Like, about stuff from history and stuff. But no, they're very reasonable questions, stuff that you could actually answer, or you can guess and maybe have it right if you like, if the questions doesn't make any sense, like the answers you can connect to, like, oh, maybe this one makes more sense and stuff like that. So it's
can I say I've never played Trivial Pursuit. I don't really know what it is.
Okay, so I was going to, before moving on to Rainbow Six Siege, I was going to end this little part here with a little bit of trivia myself here. For those that don't know, Trivial Pursuit was invented by two Canadians in the late 70s and early 80s. So it's got its Canadian roots here. So Fletch, it's just like you don't know Jack, those type of things, the trivia questions where you'll ask something and then you'll have like probably, again, depending on the different formats, multiple choice to answer, so it'd be like, I don't know, some trivial fact on something. Who were the first people to fly a plane? The Wright brothers, the Banana brothers, Jacques Cousteau, or
Fletch.
Pierre. Fletch. Yeah, whatever. So it's just a general trivia type game here. It's fun to play.
It's really fun. Yeah,
I'll have to give it a go then. I've got Ubisoft Plus, so I assume it'll launch onto that.
There you go.
One anyway, so give it a go.
Yep. Alrighty, so moving along here, Rainbow Six Siege. Get ready to play. And I know we talked about this either last week or a week before, but now it's coming up. The Rainbow Six Siege first season of year 7. I've got to get my facts straight here. Again, another game. Rainbow Six Siege was out, I think, 2015 when it first came out. And it's just awesome. Here, 7 years later, and still very popular game. Fun to play. A brand new season. We're getting a new operator. We're also getting, I believe here, a team deathmatch mode where players can pick almost any operator to fight with. An attacker repick feature, which allows players to change their attacker during the prep phase, which is cool, to better adapt to their scouting intel. So Rainbow Six Siege, year 7, season 1, next week. Looking forward to that too. Always have fun playing Siege or any of the Rainbow Six games, really.
The team that match for me is a game changer. I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And I might start getting hooked to the game. We'll see how it goes. But I love
we'll have to play for sure. I would love that.
Definitely.
Okay, and here we are, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Discovery Tour, Viking Age. Immerse yourself in the Viking Age thanks to the Discovery Tour. Players will roam freely throughout Norway, England, and the mythical realms of and Asgard in a map free of conflict or gameplay constraints, and relive history through stories with 8 major quests. You will get to interact with charismatic, historical, and fictional characters, including the king, some shipbuilders, monks, and more. Now, when this first came out here in October, I streamed this as well. This is great because teachers and educators can use this as a learning tool. If you heard when I mentioned here, it's combat free. So this is an awesome way. You know how like Minecraft helps get students engaged and kids engaged into learning. Again, this Discovery Tour Viking Age is a great way to learn about history, Norway, England, and things like that. So this is awesome. And I even believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, that they even have, Ubisoft has like teaching materials to go along with this for those teachers that want to bring this into their classroom and things like that. So it's awesome. Totally awesome.
I think they did the same for Odyssey as well. With that, so it is very extensive. I tried the Odyssey one, and the detail they include is extensive. So it's really good for teaching people.
The first Assassin's Creed game they had in mind to be educational at the time. They ended up changing it. It got a lot more action and stuff like that. But it's cool that they got to their roots and actually implemented what was their vision when they first thought of the game in the series.
Yeah, that is awesome. And again, this is just another way of having students be able to learn history and about different lands and times and things like that in an interesting way that is appealing to kids instead of reading from a textbook or maybe even watching a movie. This is a fully interactive adventure, so it's awesome to see. And as it mentions here, it's included for those who've already purchased Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's free if you already have it. And then again, it doesn't mention this here, and I did email to get clarification, but I didn't hear anything back. I believe what this is talking about, because it says here, a unique interactive experience coming soon to the Stadia store, is the separate standalone version that you can purchase, so you don't have to have Valhalla to be able to play it. So
good.
Looking forward to this. Yeah. And here we go. It's got a little bit of stuff here about lead epic rage, dark age, open world, all this good stuff here. So again, that's our third and final blog
but
post.
Wait, John, there's something that they say on the bottom of this blog that you missed out.
More games.
Oh yeah,
Ubisoft games.
Excuse me. Look at this. I was getting ready to even close the window. More Ubisoft games are making their way to the Stadia store for you to look forward to, including Oddballers and Tom Clancy's X Defiant.
Nice.
Wow. So there we go. We got a hint of some more Ubisoft games that are on their way to Stadia, and an update on some of these other ones here. So Trivia Pursuit looks like it's going to be fun. I think that this is going to be a reasonably priced game. I'm not quite sure what the price is on other platforms, but I could see it probably being like here in Canada, probably $20 maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna
Or a
guess
little bit
30.
less.
I'm gonna guess
30?
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see here on when
Yeah.
it comes out on the 17th, the same day that Stadium Connect North will be doing their Deliver Us the Moon developer interview. So don't forget.
Oh, it's on the Xbox store for for the UK. It's £12.
Oh, so
Okay.
John might be right
Like
then. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
15 or 20 Canadian. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think probably somewhere around there. So that's awesome. All righty. So, whew, and that's just the first bit of news here. I want to talk about something that I saw posted on Reddit earlier today, and I went ahead and tweeted out. Capcom is hiring. We'll bring it here. Hopefully, everyone can see this okay. This is using Google Translate, so it's translated from Japanese over to English here. So some of it might not make 100%, be clear. But Capcom is hiring a platform engineer. The development of the RE engine, which is Capcom's in-house engine. And it's basically now like any of the games that Capcom makes, they use this in-house engine because it's very versatile. We saw it in the last 2 Resident Evil games. And it says here, in charge of this person, again, remember this is translated from Japanese over to English. So it doesn't make somewhat sense, but what's very important is that Stadia is mentioned here. It says, I am in charge of the part that supports the entire game engine, including the design and development of their underlying library, the verification of the hardware and platform of each company, and the support for functions. We will perform basic verification to function integration and application research for releasing game applications for PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PC, Stadia, iOS, Android, etc. So here is this specific game. And there goes the light again here. It must be getting mad. AI rendering will develop the library that is the basis for development of components such as animation and network, and build and improve the development environment related to the entire engine. So here we are. Again, this is a platform engineer for Capcom on the RE engine, and they specifically mentioned Stadia here. So this is very, very promising to see that Stadia is mentioned here, because they very well could have just, admitted that here. And we go here, and here is the job posting itself on their website here on the Capcom recruiting page, and it tells you your qualification requirements, the work hours, complete week, so it gives you all the details on it, and its work location is in Osaka. So yeah, this is awesome to see. That was spotted and by someone on Reddit earlier today, so tweeted out a picture of that. Of course, gave them credit as well for pointing that out. And I even brought up a game page here for those that are wondering, games that are developed using the RE engine. So remember, we've got Resident Evil 7 already on Stadia, and then we also have Resident Evil Village. Both use the RE engine. We know Resident Evil 2, the remake, that's using the same engine. Devil May Cry 5, exact same engine. Resident Evil 3 remake, same engine. Resident Evil Resistance, again, same engine here. Devil May Cry Special Edition, Capcom Arcade Stadium.
What is
this
that?
Would be,
That's yeah. So what is that?
It's a collection of Capcom games, arcade games. So it's you can see here it says it includes 32 arcade games originally published by Capcom between 1984 and 2001.
That is so cool.
This would be awesome,
Yeah.
like just because it says Stadium and Stadia, right? Like
That's
Stadia
that's only why it's
plural,
cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
awesome for them to be able to publish that as well. Ghost and Goblins Resurrection that came out on Switch and then also PlayStation and Xbox. That would be great to have. Monster Hunter would be an amazing
Oh
get.
my
That's
gosh.
a
Yeah.
super popular game in Japan and now around the world. RE-Verse, we know that that's coming out this year at some point. And then there's
Yeah.
2 other games here that have been announced for 2023. So you can see like the game, like Capcom, rightfully so, they've developed their own RE engine, which is of course Resident Evil engine. And we've already have 2 games are hiring for a job for an engineer. Stadia is mentioned in there. So things do look good. Again, we can only speculate. There's no confirmation on anything, meaning that more games are coming or whatnot. But this does point to signs that there are more games from Capcom coming. Will we see anything mentioned like that at the Developer Summit? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe after. But
I think someone from Capcom's at the summit doing a presentation.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
believe.
if
So,
that's the,
yeah,
if that's the
interesting.
case, I
We'll
guess
get to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping Exo Primal comes to Stadia after seeing sort of that at the state of play. Dino Crisis is calling to me.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's a little bit of news here. So now tying in with the poll that we have here. So if you haven't voted already, let us know. I'm going to end the poll here right after I read this here to let us know if you're expecting any big announcements for the Google for Game Developer Summit, which is happening this Tuesday, March the 15th. Stadia tweeted out here, got any plans for March the 15th? If you didn't already, you do now. Mark your calendar, Stadians. You're invited to join us at the 2022 Google for Games Developer Summit, where you can learn more about our plans for Stadia this year. Now, as a follow-up tweet that they put out here, so that was done on March the 3rd, and then this is 6 days later on the 9th. The Google developers account, is tweeting out about some of the sessions here for Stadia at the summit. And the Stadia account says here, as requested by you, the Stadians, we're committed to providing more behind the scenes context into our developer facing projects. They're pretty technical, but we think you will enjoy. Tune in next week. So we have a tweet announcing it, and then another tweet here setting expectations. And this third, no, that's not there. So, and this second tweet here about setting expectations. So we thought that it would be interesting to see what people in the chat thought about the summit here. And I'm going to end the poll here. Are you expecting any big announcements at the Google for Games Developer Summit? And I ended the poll, and let's see what our results are. It might be a little delayed on our screens here.
Let's see.
And of course, the light goes out at the same time. So let's see.
you go.
Okay. So are you expecting any big announcements? 58% said no. 41% said yes. 39 people voted. So that's
Pretty
very
tight.
interesting. Yeah. That's a lot closer than I was expecting. I think my own, and again, we'll talk about this maybe here shortly after at the end if we've got time for the open chat. My own personal theory is that, again, like I mentioned earlier, that maybe at the keynote we'll get a hint of not something massive, but they said plans for the rest of the year. So I'm anticipating, just because we saw information posted about this announcement about expansion into other countries. Like, I think we've seen over the last several months hints at expanding. So I think for me that we'll hear something about Stadia expanding into other countries here. We may or may not, but who's to say, really?
Yeah, I got a few different opinions, sort of what to expect.
Yeah.
Obviously, the expansion being one, I fully expect we'll see some sort of expansion. They keep hinting at it, and with the ratings going on, I think it's a no-brainer that we will see something on that. But I think we'll possibly see more going into the edge of possibly more TVs being announced, especially for developers going even more devices. And then I feel like maybe they'll show sort of what their plans are for Pro. Obviously, we've seen Pro expand massively in terms of what it was back 2 years ago to now, from sort of having 12 games to 50, well, 51.
Exactly.
I think they might say something on that as well, because I think they even said previously that they shifted their idea from Pro, so I suspect we'll probably hear something more on that. But yeah, I think sort of they won't show off any new games, obviously. I think people need to be very aware of that, but with regards to features, I think that's where we'll see a lot more information about features and expansion more than anything else.
Yeah. What about you, Ninja? What do you think?
I'm not gonna talk about it too much because we got the open chat right that we're gonna talk about it. But yeah, I don't think, like, personally, I don't think we're gonna hear anything. I think it's only gonna be tech. I think we're just gonna like, the special announcement for the stadiums is meant to be like in blogs and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that stadiums are meant to like to be forced to watch the development submit and things like that. But yeah, that's my personal opinion for sure. But so low expectations. So if something happens, well, you know, I'll be super excited. So I don't have any issues with that.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move along here. And here we are. We talked about this earlier, the new Dead by Daylight content. So I won't go into that too much here. Just Dance 2022. There was a gotta get them all trophy glitch, and they've patched that now for all platforms. So Maurice, you'll be happy to find out. Hopefully Maurice is listening here. Maurice will be happy. You'll be able to get that gotta get them all trophy.
This trophy is glitched in Just Dance 2020, and I can't get it. So it's kind of nice that they fixed it in 20. Is that 2021 or 2022?
22.
Probably 22.
Yeah.
I'm happy. So at least I don't have to worry about doing like 50 hours of dancing and not getting the trophy right. Oh my gosh, Maurice was so mad. Maurice was so mad that he danced like Footloose. You know Footloose, when he's so mad, he dances like crazy. Well, that's how he did it. So now he's doing the happy dance. So
I know we've talked about it quite a bit. Maybe in the near future we can get Maurice back on here. I know Maurice is a very busy individual, so hopefully we can schedule some time for Maurice to come back on and dazzle us with his moves, or maybe even just to sit down and talk, and he can share his 2 cents on things. So be interesting to see. Yep. So now here is a piece of information that NinjaGuy X here discovered and tweeted out about 9 to 5. So I don't know, Ninja, if you want to maybe just go over this and mention.
Yeah, for sure. So they're like out of this. So they've put a roadmap throughout from now to May. There's only like 2 very big announcements in this. The first one is a little bit disappointing. There was supposed to be a new map at the end of March, and it's been pushed to May, to the late May patch. So we have a few more months to wait for that, unfortunately. But other than that, it's just little tweaks, new weapons, and little things like that. But the very cool thing that we're seeing here, and I didn't even notice it when I was first reading it, is that we're getting achievements for both PC and Stadia. So in late May, during the major update, we'll be getting some achievement, and I'm looking forward to it because the game is very fun. I feel like I have enough skills to maybe be able to 100% this game. So it's going to be very fun. I can't wait to see what kind of challenges they're going to give us, and it's going to bring more life to the game because only with 2 maps it's a little bit repetitive and there's not really any progression, right? So with these achievements, it's just going to feel fresh, and we're going to have some new stuff to go in. I'll definitely go back to the game.
I'm liking the fact of new map, new modes, and they're extending progression as well, which is really nice.
Exactly.
Big update.
This is awesome. It's free to play, early access, so it's great to see how this game is just evolving and changing, and it's only been on Stadia since December, right? So it's relatively new on Stadia, and it's been out on PC, I think, for a year previous to that, give or take. So it's great to see the progress of this game. But so achievements coming to the game, and also a new map, which has been delayed. So we're going to go here, move through. Another patch for Life is Strange. We've talked about other patches that have come to the game here. So it's good to see Square Enix keeping up on both of the Life is Strange remastered games here. And there's another patch that's already released on all the platforms. So that's great to see. Awesome. And we had an announcement here. A new Orcs Must Die 3 DLC. Wow, they keep putting out content for this game, which is good to see. Tipping the Scales coming in April the 7th. So just about a month away. 5 new maps. Holy mackerel.
Oh my gosh.
Including a war scenario, the new Tatara race and gear.
It looks like a lizards must die now. That's what.
Yeah, and plenty more. So wow,
Nice.
you could see it in the little 30-second trailer here. Orcs Must Die. They just keep pumping it out. That's great to see.
Yeah, when you see little games like this bringing some more content, it just means that it's doing well, right? So so it's always positive to see this happening.
Yep. And then just today here, we won't go over this too much because it's a summary. The Save Point February updates here on the blog here from Google. It's just talking about last month. MotoGP 21, My Heroes 1, Justice 2, Dynasty Warriors 9 Empire, The Witch Queen for Destiny 2, 2 new demos, Chorus, Rainbow Six Extraction. Stadia Pro hit 50 titles in February for existing subscribers. Included 7 games newly added to the library. Life is Strange. Both of those remastered went straight to Pro, which was amazing. Murex Market, One Hand Clapping, Fogs. Then we also saw 2 free play days, Jackbox Party Pack 7, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And here we are, 51 games to explore in Pro. I'm not even going to name them all. There's just a ton there. And content launches. Again, we talked about here those games and announcements. Calico Lake, Phoenix Point, Chaos Engines, the Elder Scrolls Online Collection, High Isle. So we saw a lot of news over this past week. Oh my dear Lord, I can't believe it took that long to get through all the stuff here, but here we are. Lots of news happening in the Stadia official. We call this official news here. So thank you everybody for sitting through that there and
Take
going
a deep
with us
breath.
here. Yeah, I didn't realize, but there's a lot of information here. I know we always gather together, the night before. We put all our heads together and we filter through all the information, and we basically touch on the topics we feel that are most important. So that was lots and lots of news, which is awesome to see. And now I'm going to hand over the virtual microphone to NinjaGuy X here, so he can go over the community news.
Thank you. So we have a lot of community news. I'm going to try to go through it quickly because I really wanted to do the open chat today because it's a very interesting subject. So let me go ahead and start this up. So the first news that we have is congratulations to Max Bohr for being first place inside the Winter Community Championship. So he won first place, very well earned. Max Bohr did very well throughout the competition. And he's, as you can see, Stadium Connect North is very happy about our Canadian fellow winning this championship. So congrats to Max Bohr, and hope to see him on the Summer Community Championship. And speaking of which, here in a tweet, we can see that it's been confirmed that we will be having a Summer Community Championship. So, last year during the championship, we weren't sure if we were going to get a winter championship. It was just in the air. And but now this time around, it's been confirmed we're sure to have one. Make sure to keep a follow to the Winter CC to see when the champion is going to happen. And if you're a competitor type of person, this is the perfect place for you. It's very fun. I highly recommend it. So next up, we have Those Who Remain. Those Who Remain is published by Wired Production, which, by the way, is also publishing Deliver Us to the Moon, which we're having an interview with next week, Thursday. So keep a lookout for that. As you can see, we're very excited. We want to,
wink, wink.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So no, it's going to be a very good interview. So hope to see you guys there. We're going to have an interview on Thursday, and then we're going to have our regular show on Friday. So it's going to be a very eventful week next week, because then John is also streaming the Developer Summit. But yeah, so for those who remain, let me translate that. We now have a ESBR rating for this game, and like we talked last week, we've noticed like a couple of months ago, they were mentioning that Those Who Remain could potentially be a Stadia port. So this is very promising. I feel like we'll be getting it maybe soonish, maybe this year. So yeah, it's a very promising title. I hope that we get it. I hope that we get an official announcement, and it just everything is pointing out that we'll be getting it. So hopefully we'll get it. Next up is okay, I just have to read it here. Okay, so someone here mentioned to me that are you planning to release Syndrome or Those Who Remain on Stadia? That'd be great, thanks. So Those Who Remain might be coming to Stadia, yes. So again, more thing pointing out that For Those Who Remain might be coming to Stadia. Next up, our good friend Granite T Rock saw this UK statistic games chart, which was showing like the percentage of players playing on specific technology or hardware, and it looks like we have 0.8 person playing on Stadia. It looks like a small number, but Granite did the calculation, and he's saying that it should be 373,000 UK gamers who's actually using Stadia as their top system, which is pretty interesting. This is all as usual speculation. We're not sure if it's considered 47 million gamers or or other. We don't know like what it's based off of, but if it's the case, this is quite a big amount. I think this is enough to sustain Stadia as a platform that could be making money. So very good numbers.
I'm glad to represent the UK in that 0.8%.
Finally, UK news, right? Yeah. Oh man. So one other thing here, it's very interesting. Like it's kind of a stealth update for Disco Elysium. So they got some extra trophies. We got 8 new achievement. I don't know why I said trophies, and 2 new hidden achievement. Now I'm not sure what's the reasoning of this happening. I don't know if it's happening on other platform. I don't know if Fletch, you're aware if other platform got the same update.
Not a clue. I've never played Disco Elysium, so I wouldn't have a clue. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. I just thought you might know that, but no, it's very interesting. I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to bring more achievement for having more stuff to do, right? Like for completionists. So I think that's cool. In my opinion, I think if I know that some achievement hunters hates it because it ruins their score system, but I like it because it just gives a more purpose to the game. Jump back into the game and play some more. Wink, wink. I would love some more Raiders trophies achievements, by the way. So we've got some new job opportunity from Google in Waterloo, Ontario. So it's user experience designer university graduate. And what's nice about this is Austin here, who is a Google employee, is kind of excited to get this. To work with someone with these skills. So work with me on Stadia. We're looking for upcoming recent grads to join partner experience team as a UXD integration designer. So, John, do you know if this is a new job posting?
Yep. So this is a new job posting. Again, it's for graduates. So if you go to even apply for it, it tells you that you need transcripts from your university. But it's good to see here because, like you said, it's mentioning there's a Google employee here that's out of Kitchener Waterloo, so about an hour away from where I am here in Toronto, and there's one of the offices is in there in Kitchener Waterloo, and it's UX experience. So this is good to see. Again, just more like expanding, right? Like so you can help design and work with this great opportunity for a recent graduate or a student there. And and I think like they mentioned in the tweet here, the job posting could be general, but it's specifically on Stadia. So you can see there. Yeah, it's west. It's about an hour, about 100 kilometers away, a little more, give or take, depending on how fast you drive. But it's not too far away. And Austin here, I know Austin had tweeted as well earlier that he was just given granted to be able to permanently work remote for Google and working on Stadia here. So he's super excited about that. And this job here initially starts out as remote. Maybe it could be a full remote as well. So a great opportunity for a recent grad or a university student.
And you get to work with Austin, which I think is he's an awesome person. So I think it's definitely a good opportunity for sure. Next up, so we got Guy. I don't know why this is in community news. I guess this would be official, right? But yes. So exciting news! All of the Akane plushies have finished production and are shipping to us ASAP. So if I'm not mistaken, those plushies were only obtainable if you were backing the game through Kickstarter at the moment. I don't know if they're gonna release them to the public later on.
You actually you can now. You could purchase them. So they've released 2, and then this is the third one that they were still waiting on for production. So I've got the first 2, and I think as we pre-ordered this one as a backer, so he's going to be excited to get this in his hands, and of course I as well, because I love getting game merch. So
exactly,
it's awesome.
They made it us wait, and I feel like this is like the best, the cutest one. So it's funny that they made you wait longer for this one. I love it. I love the design. It's awesome. Okay, so Outright Games, Rob asked if there was going to be a Stadia version for My Little Pony. I'm not sure what's the whole name of the game, but yes. So Outright Game, their intention it is to release this on Stadia, but we can't confirm anything yet. Thanks for your interest. So I feel like we always ask Outright Games if their games are gonna release, but I think they're like Wired Production, right? Like their intention is just to release everything on Stadia at one point or another. So if we don't get it day one, at least they're working on getting these games. Yeah. So looks like a pretty solid game. It's 60 FPS that I can see from here. Lots of mini games, and I think it'd be a great addition for Stadia. Definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
Great for those 100% achievements.
Yeah, exactly. These are Outright Games, like the best company for achievers, which is kind of funny in a way. So here, Ubisoft released a video with Jimmy, and Jimmy is from what his accent, I can see that he's a French person, but he here, like, you should hear his speech if you can. Like, he talks about Stadia, about how it'll bring, like, what it will bring in the future. What do you think? What do you think? Like, how Stadia is not Stadia, but how cloud gaming is gonna bring like a lot of people in gaming. Like, this is gonna be the place to play games. And I feel like it's a speech. It's a very motivating speech of what cloud gaming will be in the future. So I definitely encourage you guys to
do you want me to share that out on mine, the audio, because I know it's a little easier to do Like if it's separate so that we could hear that, or what do you
Yeah, we
think?
can. Well, it's a 2-minute speech. Let's do that.
Oh, it's 2
Yeah.
minutes. Okay. Well, let's
Yeah.
see. At the end, we'll get to the end and then we'll see, because I know we've got
Okay.
time here. So yeah, but definitely
for
check
sure.
that out if we don't. It's a great, you know, like Ninja said here, it's a great
Yeah.
forte into cloud gaming.
They show off
Exactly.
Stadia in the actual video as well.
Yeah, just saw that. Yeah, I didn't
And
notice that.
I think what we'll see in the future that Ubisoft will be one of the first companies to make a cloud native game.
Oh yeah, he's
They're
also
fully
talking
behind
about
it.
that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I
Yeah.
expect we'll see that not too long, to be honest. I feel like they're probably working on something now.
Yeah,
It wouldn't surprise
exactly.
me.
Yeah, no, like I said, like I really like his speech. He's really, really positive towards the future of cloud gaming, and it's nice to see someone this high in the Ubisoft industry thinking like that, because we will be seeing more from Ubisoft just by the looks of it.
Yep.
So next up, She Dreams Elsewhere is a game that is already confirmed for coming to Stadia. But someone here at the Stadia Adventure, what a coincidence, which is in the chat at the moment, ask how the development is going, and it's nice. They answered and they said thank you so much for the support. It's coming along very well. Stay tuned. So it's good to hear back from them. We'll be it's just good to get an update and see that they're still working on it. So
If I'm right in thinking, was this a Stadia? This was a Stadia Maker game, wasn't it? That was announced, I believe. I think it was like with Figment 2 and stuff like that. I believe it was.
Yes,
I think
that
so.
makes
I think
sense.
so. Yes. Yeah.
You know what? Let's go on the wiki and have a look.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good thing that those
wiki
blokes
guys,
keep
right?
that up to date, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's. What did you call me?
A bloke. A bloke. Right?
Oh man, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh man, so here we have the source, and it'll tell us in a few seconds. I don't know why it's so slow, but look at there.
Oh,
well,
always when you're trying to show something. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So they're way to Stadia through Stadia Maker program.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, right under Figment 2. Yeah, I thought I recognized it.
You are correct. Yeah. So here you have it, guys. This is a Stadia Maker game. So Stadia is good at supporting some games. I think that they're leaning away to that from that type of business, but it's cool that they keep their words on some older titles that they were funding for that. So next up is something I personally wanted to advertise. So John is streaming the Dev Summit on Tuesday, March 15th. And what he's doing here is that you get a chance to win a copy of My Heroes 1 Justice or Troll Hunters Defenders of Arcadia. So you can win one or the other. All you have to do is go in the comments and tell him what game you would like to win. And with that, he will be going ahead and decide or draw someone to win. So, go ahead and have a look. It's going to be a very interesting stream. I actually have a conference that I have to attend on that day, but I'll be having both screens open. I really want to look at that up. Hopefully the other conference that I'm watching is not important, but I need to watch this. It's too exciting and can't wait for it. Next up is lots of juicy news. The APK breakdown. Yes, this is an exciting one. So in the latest APK breakdown, we've got some motion control strings here that they've been that they've digged out of the new version of the Android application. And what this means is that we could be seeing gyro control onto phones. So you have your phone and you can maybe drive around with grid and like a racing game. It's especially good at racing game. But John, tell me what other game that might be coming to Stadia that the gyro would be good for?
My personal thought on this is House of the Dead remake. We know we saw the ESRB rating, and I think that this would be perfect. Because on Switch, it's confirmed coming to Switch. That's the only platform that the developer has confirmed that House of the Dead's coming to as of this moment, and it has the gyro controls. So I think this just opens the door to be able to use your phone to play House of the Dead on Stadia like that. And I'm definitely, if this is the case, that's how I'm going to play it, because that's going to be awesome. I love House of the Dead games there just for their pure arcade action. And I hope this opens the door for Typing of the Dead, which is another where you can use your keyboard to type. I played that on the Dreamcast. Absolutely loved it. We have other typing games on Stadia, and we can even see that nowadays they've implemented so you can use the controller as well. That actually works pretty good. So I'm excited for this. Hopefully we get an announcement for House of the Dead soon. Because if I remember correctly, it's launching, is it in April on the Switch? April 7th, maybe? Hopefully this is an early indicator that there's going to be confirmation and gyro controls, and this opens up the door for other games as well.
Exactly. And I talked to MM2K, and he pointed out that we should also be getting a gun, like a gyro controlled Stadia gun, official Stadia gun, right? Like that'd be so amazing.
You never know. Yeah, you never know, right? I mean, if we get gyro controls too, we could get Marble Madness, right? You know, those Marble Madness games where you move the marble around and you can tilt and things like that. So
Katamari Damacy would be perfect too, right? Like with the ball, that'd be so cool. Yeah.
Right. So this opens the door for it. And then I know somebody else, I don't know where, I think it was on Twitter or wherever, talking maybe on Discord or maybe even Reddit. They were saying, oh, well, maybe we'll see a new Stadia controller with gyro built in.
I wish.
At this point, I mean, it's possible because PlayStation, remember when they release it, they've each like PlayStation and Xbox have all released new controllers, right, for the systems. When PlayStation first launched, it only had the not the analog, and then we had the dual analog sticks, Rumble, and then same with Xbox. We had the Xbox S controller, which was smaller and more sleek. So having an updated controller launch with a system or a platform isn't unheard of. I don't think immediately that we'd see one. If Stadia picks, like, the popularity user base grows, then that'd be warranted to maybe, make a controller with the gyro, the motion controls in it. We'll see, but it's always a good possibility. Here, you have the phone. You don't need to buy anything extra. You just plop it out and get ready to go.
Did you say plop it out? That's all right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Here we go. In the chat, right?
Yep. So, it also appeared that there will be some per game customizability to both the new motion controls and as well as touch controls. So you might be seeing maybe some improvement to that. So again, they're hinting at touch control, gamepad customization. There are additionally a complete set of SVGS and PNGS for the V2 touchpad toe. So that means that we might get like new kind of UI on the touch control, which is kind of cool also.
Yep.
So does that later string mean spectators could potentially text chat with players? So that is also a potential thing that could happen. So, and they're suggesting they could unify the Android TV version with the phone app at some point. So again, Stadia is very advanced with their cloud gaming tech. Cool features that we're not seeing around other places. So, very exciting. Next up is Dawn of the Monsters is giving away a 9-inch Megadon figure. So Sofubi to celebrate the upcoming release of Dawn of the Monsters. So it's pretty easy to get in. John, did you put the link in the description?
No, but I will.
Okay.
What you could do now is just go to the 13 AM Games Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm it's anybody listening here. 13 AM Games, and there's the entry here. It's a Gleam. You can put your entries in, and they're giving it away next. Well, look at that date, March the 15th. Son of a gun! That's the same date the Stadium Connect North is going to have a developer interview with Deliver Us the Moon.
Oh, wow!
Actually, it's not the 15th. It's not. It's the 17th. But But yeah, this is next Tuesday. They're going to give that away because the game. John
15th
of the
is looking like a
Monsters.
busy day.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep,
It's
yep.
going to be a very busy day here. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
it's
get
busy
into
day
that.
because there's gonna be the dev conference. Then I'm gonna be winning the Megadon statue. Oh, it's gonna be so busy for me. Like
Yep,
I just can't
yep,
handle it.
yep. So
Ah,
Ninja, before you move on here, I just wanted
yeah.
to highlight there was a Stadia Adventure. He had said, and I'm not 100% sure either, but he's saying that the Oddballers is rated for Stadia and ESRB. I don't
Okay.
know previously if that was the case, but regardless, the Stadia Adventure is letting us know. We know that.
Oddballers did get delayed recently.
Yeah.
They haven't given a date as to when
Yes.
it will released anymore.
Mhm,
So it's just
exactly.
been delayed indefinitely, but they said that
Yep.
they'll give information out soon. So I expect we'll probably
Exactly.
hear
Yep.
something about a new release date in the next week or two, probably.
Yep.
So what's nice about with the wiki is that we can click the source and see that update right there. So Oddballer
Woohoo!
has been delayed. I'm surprised that we did not think of putting that, or did we?
Yeah, I know. I can't
Yeah.
believe that we missed
Okay.
that. But
Yeah,
just
but
goes
anyway.
to show you, right? We can't. Sometimes we miss things. So
Yeah, exactly. So something very crazy, and it's funny because so it looks like we've got a new feature on TVs with the Stadia television app, and we can get 5.1 surround sound Dolby Digital. And what's funny about this is that I just got a TV about 2 weeks ago, and the first thing that I did is like go in there and see if I had 4K, right? Because it's my first time experiencing 4K. And I saw the 5.1 surround sound and I was like, oh, cool. Okay. I guess that was there, I don't know how long. But I guess it's a new feature, like I had no idea. I thought this was if I would have known, I would have definitely, talk about it, but I wasn't aware. But we are now getting a 5.1 surround sound Dolby Digital, which is pretty impressive. From what I've heard, 5.1 is very it require a lot of effort in decrypting for streaming, especially. So it's nobody talked about this much, but it's actually very, very impressive technology.
Yeah,
So,
I think 5.1's been around since launch, but Dolby Digital has never been on there.
Dolby
So
Digital, that's what it is. Okay.
I hope we see Dolby Vision at some point as well. That'll
Oh my
be
gosh, can you
great
imagine?
as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Exactly.
great to see Dolby being supported finally.
Yeah, that's very good. Exactly. All right. So okay. So the Verge gave us some news about Stadia. They seem to be pretty excited about like the Dev Summit. And it's not just The Verge. We're starting to see that among a lot of journalism. So I'm just going to click a few here. We got Eurogamer talking about being pretty excited about it too. Then we've got Tom's Guide, which the page didn't load for some reason. Stadia's not dead. Maybe I did not. Oh yeah, no, I clicked the right one. Okay, and then we got Windows Central saying Stadia may soon be able to play unmodified Windows PC game. So and this one idea could shape the future of gaming. So this is very cool because since Stadia came out, we don't see a lot of positive news around. But they seems to have switched things around, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. I'm just happy, to see this switch of so much positiveness coming out of these journals. And I didn't thought the switch was going to happen so early. And you never know, right? Like it could tomorrow something could happen and then they go back into Stadia, might die soon or something like that. But we just wanted to show this out to people, just to show like how amazing some news can do to this. So I guess all of these people are pretty excited about the Dev Summit, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, with the excitement too around Steam Deck coming out, and it's using Proton as well to be able to play Windows games. So now they're seeing that these outlets are picking up on the Developer Summit about having something very similar to Proton. And just like when we talked with his name escapes me. Remember, he brought over Ethan. We talked with Ethan a couple of months ago too about the Windows and the games and stuff like that. So it's very exciting to see, like you said. Hopefully they keep up this positivity here. I guess we'll see after the summit on Tuesday if there's a round of articles that are positive or negative. But yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see this.
Can
Exactly.
I just say maybe we'll see our Stadia Hailstorm? Remember that?
Oh yeah, Project Hailstorm.
All these new games, yeah.
Yeah, who knows,
Yeah.
right? So in one of these articles, we've got Windows Central, but I'm just going to bring that up here right now. Is it today? No, that was 2 days ago. They say keep an eye on the Stadia scene as it could get a lot more interesting very soon. So I feel like they know more than what we think, you know. So and then they link to their article, but I don't know if like they were communicated by maybe some PR at Stadia or something like that. But it does feel like they are like they know more than we know about. So maybe we'll actually see some stuff that we're not aware of. Maybe some surprises.
I know. I watch a couple of the guys from Windows Central, like Jez Corden, etc., and they have quite a few insights into game development companies, and they do get a few leaks here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they know something a bit more in depth and we don't know about, as they do get it from anonymous sources.
Yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait to see what they're talking about for sure. All right, so so Overcooked and Golf with Your Friend is coming out in April. And Overcooked is a cross-platform game throughout all consoles that we're aware of. But we asked the developers if it was going to be cross-platform on Stadia. And unfortunately, they've confirmed that Overcooked and Golf with Your Friend is not going to be cross-platform at the moment. So maybe in the future, they did not confirm anything. But for now, we'll only be able to play this game with your Stadia friends, which I'm personally totally fine with that. I'm going to need to convince some more people to come on the platform. But
both of these would be pro games anyway, I reckon. So I think the player numbers will be through the roof.
Yeah, exactly.
Very well. Yeah, that could very well be one of the reasons too.
Yeah, exactly. It is surprising, but it is what it is. Maybe they had some time to crunch and they had to remove some features, so it's all good. And last but not least, congratulations to Stadia Hunters, aka Endeavor, who is mostly the one who's maintaining all of that, even though me and Fletcher are admins on there. But he has reached 2,000 members. As you can see, Endeavor has been growing a lot on his website.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, wow. I don't know why people leave this website, but yeah, it's right. Like, why would? I don't want people to see my trophies now.
I think what it is. Yeah, I think what it is I was having a chat with him before about this. So I've been there since day one, since you set it all up, and it's hard to track people who obviously have their stuff private. So if they'd want to make their games private or anything on their private, once it goes private, you can't track it at all. So that's why you see a drop off of users sometimes, where people have just made it private for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So but it also comes into context with regards to tracking secret achievements as well, is that it's very hard to track who's got a secret achievement, because there's no way of seeing what those secret achievements are on Stadia. So he has to do that all sort of his end by unlocking the achievements himself, so then he can track it. So a lot of work goes into it his side, and fair play to him, because he's built up a phenomenal website and community on that side. So fair play to Endeavor.
A lot of passion was put definitely on this website. It's very well earned, and as you can see, it's crazy. It's going higher than it ever did. Even right at the end there, you can see that bar going super high. I'm not sure what caused this, but they're very, very fond to this, and it's very fun to track your trophies via this, which is very nice. So that is about what we have for community news. So John did a poll not too long ago, and he asked, let me just get to this. Are you expecting any big announcement? It's pretty small, I'm sorry, but it's saying, are you expecting any big announcements at the Google for Game Developers Summit. So, chat, we're opening it to you. The poll says that no. 58% think that we're not going to have any big announcements at the Google Game Developer Summit. And we have 41%, which is kind of a big amount, expecting that we're going to get a big announcement. So, John Fletch, I'm going to open this to you first. What would you consider, if we would get a big announcement, what would you consider a big announcement at the Dev Summit?
Seeing Phil Harrison in his beautiful shoes.
Yeah,
he's got to have the red shoes, right?
Honestly, I'd want him just to like turn up and be like, "Hi guys, it's me."
Yeah, right. That'd be great. I'd love that.
That would just top it off.
I think for me, if there's going to be a big announcement, it would have to be with more developers coming on board. So it'd be like a confirmation. Again, this is all hypothetical, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, and I personally don't think it would happen. This would be an example. If there's going to be a big announcement, they come out, they could say this would all be talked about and announced in the keynote, because all the other sessions are 100% technical. It could be something like, obviously wouldn't say it this, hey guys, we're confirming that Capcom has signed on to develop even more games for Stadia, and we're going to be seeing Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Monster Hunter. To me, that would be something. Again, I'm not expecting it at all, but that would just be an example of a major announcement. Just like I Can't See said, for me, I think expansion is the most probable, and features, like Fletch mentioned, features, because we saw on Luna that they have Luna Couch, which is an awesome, being able to play a local multiplayer game, Dawn of the Monsters. Imagine this. You can play Dawn of the Monsters, right? Without having to use Parsec. You can play it with anybody else where Stadia is available, and they don't have to own the game, right? Like, that would be so awesome. So we need a Stadia Couch, like we did that video so many months ago, without having to use Parsec. So that would be cool. And also, Luna just announced, or they just implemented, because they've come out of early access, being able to use your camera's phone and microphone to complete the streaming, right? So I think those are two probable features that have already been in the works. I would like to see those three things announced. I don't know the probability of them, but I think it's safe. You could have a reasonable expectation. Just don't get yourself hyped up and super excited for it. But I think it will be interesting. I really do. I think it'll be interesting one way or another.
Yeah, I can't wait. So Lo-Fi has some decent expectation. He says, I think Windows games is a huge announcement, and I agree. As soon as I was reading through the panel and I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is epic. Like for developers who don't have the time to port their game to Stadia Linux, with Vulkan or things like that, they can just go ahead and click a button, and it's going to go. I'm saying that I don't know. I can't wait for the summit to see what's the process is going to be like. If there's going to be enough power to do that for bigger games, or if there's going to be any nitpick. That's what's interesting. Like, we don't know what this means yet, because even in the description they say that they're gonna do it. They're gonna bring unmodified Windows games. Like, let me quote that, unmodified. That's what they say. So does that mean that they really have to do no work to bring it, and things like that? So
I think it's similar to what Luna do, because Luna's running off a sort of its own software, and they essentially run Windows games. They're unmodified Windows games. So I think we'll see something similar to what Luna have done on their side, which is great, because it means more games. And I think that's what people are wanting. They want more games. And I think we'll see, realistically, I think we'll obviously see something in regards to expansion, with it appealing to developers. If they go, we're going to be expanding to South America and Asia,
that's reasonable.
There's massive growth already. And then I think they might go like, here's our plans to bring X amount of games in the next 2 years, and they might go into something about that pro. I know obviously they had that pro thing before for developers about the certain amount that they'll get from being on pro, and I reckon they'll possibly expand that onwards, because we know it's up until 2023. I wonder if they're looking at that, seen success with it, and gone, we'll boost up till 2025, etc. And it's just those extra things. I don't think we'll see anything like GTA 6 coming to Stadia. I think we'll see like
exactly.
I reckon we'll see the whole the background like Phil Harrison had years ago at GDC of we're working with all of these publishers. Bring your games to. I think we might see something like that, which would be quite a nice little touch.
Like
developers there.
New games announcement, like it doesn't feel like it fits this kind of a thing. I'd be very surprised, if that happens.
I think we could be surprised and they go, "Oh, we're going to be upgrading in next."
Oh my gosh, that'd be the biggest announcement. Yeah, like this, I'd be in heaven for sure. Like this is something that they need on there. Squid. No. Go ahead. No. Sorry, John.
I was just gonna say is that I think what we can see here as Stadia is putting their a lot of development into making the tools to bring games to Stadia easier. So for developers that might be a little weary of bringing their games to Stadia, Google can say, hey, look, you can bring, let's just say Overcooked all you can eat, and you have to do very minimal work. So your cost is going to be next to nothing to bring it over. And we can throw it on Stadia Pro, or you could do whatever. So it's very lucrative. And I really do think, and again, them investing in this Windows, unmodified Windows games and stuff like that, I do think that they probably took a look and said, okay, instead of paying $8 to $10 million for some games to bring them over, why don't we just improve the tools, make it very lucrative, up that Stadia Pro money, right, and make it so easy for people to bring it over that even if they're iffy, they can still, test the waters with relatively little to no investment. So I think that's what we see, and it's very promising. It's still gonna, I really do think it's still gonna take a couple of years for always to get those AAA that people are talking about, day and date stuff, but this is a step in the right direction. Right. And I think this is, instead of putting all that money out for games and then, it doesn't make the developer, that much more confident in the platform, make it easy to bring everything over. And then you could see like, oh, it's like a second nature. I'll just throw this on Stadia.
Next, might come back.
And I can make money off of it easier because, as of right now, of course, PC, Xbox, Nintendo and PlayStation are going to be where developers make the most amount of money, right? Because they've got the biggest audiences. So if they have those games on there, why not throw it to Stadia if it costs you next to nothing and you can still, let's just say, I'm going to throw out a silly number, $10,000. It costs you $10,000 to bring the game. Well, if it takes $10,000 and next to nothing to do it, and I could just bring it there and I can make, let's just say $20,000, there's a free $10,000 for little to nothing, right?
Yeah, so profit is profit. That's what my friends say to me. So, exactly. Squid is saying more Stadia features on more Stadia games and regional expansion. So, that's pretty much what we mentioned, which makes sense. He also says, yes.
Sorry, I think the Stadia Adventure put it quite nicely there. Of they must be fairly confident to leverage us to promote it, and it's true. They have to have. They must be fairly confident of what they're going to be showing to Stadians as a whole to put it in a blog post. You won't just put it in a blog post if it's going to be nothing. There will be something intriguing to Stadia users, and like they're saying that people aren't very technical. I like with going into like Proton and Wine and all of that, I have not a clue. But if they go to me, we're going to expand, that's something that appeals to everyone.
My gosh.
They must be fairly confident about what they're going to show to let everyone know in a blog post, come look, and especially tweet out on Twitter of going, come watch it. Like they must be fairly confident what they're going to show.
Exactly. And even if it's just tech stuff, if like you can be confident for tech stuff also, right? So it's also the case. So Squid says webcam support on YouTube integration, pretty please. And Monster Hunter. And
oh yeah, that's what I saw
Monster
that,
Hunter. Yeah, no, he's a big fan of Monster Hunter, so that makes sense. Cowboy here says, be prepared to be blown away and remember the cowboy told you first. Hell yeah. Lo-Fi Monk says, with that, what if they announce they now plan on bringing 400 games this year? What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, I know 400.
Yeah, he followed up by just saying 400 was a number that he chose, but yeah, I mean, it could be that they they're even more. We know that there's at least 100, right? Yeah. And I think why they say that is because they've already guaranteed, or they already have set scheduled for these 100 games. They're always adding more games to come up, especially with these new tools and things like that. So I think that we very well could see maybe 20 or 30 more games just this year added, and then expanding further the next couple of years. Because just because they put these new tools out doesn't mean immediately that we're going to see a whole bunch of things. This is just setting the work in motion. So I think we could very well see going out on a limb, like 130, maybe 140 this year. So 30 or 40 additional. Yeah, I think it's possible.
In the last 2 years, we've seen around the same amount of games coming out. And I think that this is a very healthy amount of game in a year. So even if we keep getting these amounts for the next few years, in my opinion, it's okay. Like, it's a good amount. But I do want to see this amount get higher at a certain point because, like we've seen at the beginning of PlayStation, at the beginning of Xbox, at the beginning of Steam, they all had, a small amount of game coming out at first. So it's cool to see this growing. So maybe not this year is my guess. Maybe we won't be seeing more games, but I think it's going to grow maybe next year by 2023 at least.
I wonder if at the presentation or the summit, if they're going to be showing an example of a game they've already put onto Stadia, which is unmodified. It'd be interesting to see if there is already a title that is already. Because if they're saying they're trying to show developers that you can do it, I wonder if they've already done it, which would be very interesting.
I saw some talk about that. People were guessing that maybe the Batman on the AT&T white label was an unmodified Windows game. Like a lot, like people were talking about that, so it could be possible. I would love for them to bring Batman over, right? Like that.
If they confirm that, if they confirm that this was a Windows port, it'd be cool to get that confirmation. It'd be cool, to see Phil Harrison coming with his red shoes, showing like this new technology game coming with Windows port. Like GTA 5, I don't know, like just a random game. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yep, that would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, Grand Theft Auto was rumored to be a part of coming to Stadia as well. So we don't want to set the expectation there, but who knows? It still could be, right? Like that could be announced. Maybe not then, but soon or whatever. So we'll see. Yeah. So
Cowboy says, I want to see Stadia eliminate porting and Gen 2 announcement. So Flesh, do you think that Gen 2 announcement is a possibility during the Dev Summit?
Well, the thing is, with as John was mentioning about the Batman Arkham game being on AT&T, a lot of people at the time obviously figured out that there was a lot of different graphic card variety in there.
Yeah, you're right.
I reckon they could throw a curveball and just be like, it'll come. I don't think we will see anything on the Gen 2 announcement, but I want them just to be like, we will be upgrading in the future, just so it's still on the cards, because I think a lot of people want to hear that it's still on the cards. It just solidifies a bit more of that stability that people want to hear, because I think a lot of people, you still get it now, people are like, Am I still going to be able to play in 2 years' time? It's just that extra bit of stability, and I think that's what people want to hear more than anything else. But I just checked with regards to GTA, and the updated version actually comes out on the 15th of March as well.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Yeah,
same date. Yeah,
exactly.
But if you remember too, at the 2019 GDC announcement when Stadia was officially announced, they talked about a feature of being, I don't know what it's exactly called, but they showed the difference where you could basically take like cluster Stadia machines, like you could take 2 instances of Stadia machines and have one game run it. And they showed what this particular level, it was like a lava level with stuff like that, would look like running 1 instance of Stadia or clustering them together and running 2. And they had a slider back and forth. To my knowledge, no game has taken advantage of that yet. So it'd be interesting to see for them to talk about that and see. I like I said, I know that was something that they mentioned because the power of the cloud and stuff like that. So
who
knows?
I know that Anthony mentioned about Embark Studios. That excites me more than anything else at the moment. Is they're the studio behind that sort of a lot of X-Dice developers making Arc Raiders, which is essentially a third-person action free to play open world sort of game where you fight like different mechanical beasts, etc. And sort of I looked at that and instantly was like, this looks like Battlefront 2 but on steroids.
Nice.
They're obviously running that off of Google Cloud to host those servers. So I know that obviously back a while ago, I know we discussed about Jack Buser put in at the time that they'll be working with some of the industry's leading game
relations
providers. So I'll be interested to see if there might be an announcement of Arc Raiders. Oh, we're coming to Google Cloud. You can expect it to come soon to Stadia or something like that. Just a little hint. I would love to see that because it looks like a big game that could be coming, and with it running on Google Cloud, I don't see why they couldn't put something in there going, come to Stadia too, come on.
Right, yeah.
So I think that's all the time we had for today, but I just want to highlight Clive, and that's like a moral of the story. Basically, he says, oh dear, I can see people getting carried away already. So it is true. So guys, this is like, in reality, this is a developer summit. Are we gonna get exciting news that they did not talk about? Like, in reality, probably not. But we do like to dream. We do like to think about cool things that could happen. But we got to keep in mind that this is a developer summit. This is focused on the developers, and we will be seeing a lot of features, for new developers to come and all of that. So, in my opinion, don't get your hopes up. We might be seeing something, but we might not. Also, so just keep that in mind. And I like what Clive said. I know he was joking, but it's just a good moral of the story,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. But so I guess this time next week we'll be talking about what we learned from the Google for Games Developer Summit. We can see, some of the stuff that we've talked about now. Did it come to fruition? Some of our guesses, or did they not? Or is there something else completely? So it will be very interesting to see come Tuesday what happens.
Exactly. All right, guys. So thank you very much for watching us today. It was very fun. Have you seen? We got a lot of news. We actually had a Game of the Week video that we wanted to do, but we just had too much news, too much stuff to talk about. We're just putting in whatever we can for the amount of time. We don't want to do it more than like 2.5 hours, even if we did pass that. But we really enjoy our time here. And like we said, tune in with us. John is having a Dev Summit stream on Tuesday. Thursday, we got an interview with the developers from Deliver Us to the Moon. And then on next Friday, we'll be talking about, the outcome of what happened during the next week. Yep. So anything you guys would like to say before we leave?
No, just everyone have a great weekend. Stay safe, and looking forward to next week.
Awesome.
I got my fingers crossed for all of you Brazilian users, Indian players that want Stadia, and but we hear something about expansion. I got my fingers crossed for you guys.
Yes, really
definitely, for sure.
All right, so have a good one, guys, and see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Bye.